Hey there, Mr. Thayer from the Syracuse Academy of Science and Citizenship, back with another third grade lesson. Today we're looking at Module 5, Lesson 14. We're going to place fractions on a number line with the endpoints 0 and 1. Okay? So, a couple of things here. We're going to look at those number lines, we're going to place things, and it seems like it's a simple job, but there's a couple of misconceptions and a couple of things that I want to make sure we understand. I have a number line written here, 0 to 1. And I have the word thirds here. So we want to break this number line into thirds. And the misconception that we kind of get is that when we see thirds, we're going to break it into 3 spots. So we're going to cut it 3 times, 1, 2, 3. And if you watched my previous lessons before, you can see that we talked about that's not right. That's gonna if we do 3 lines, there's 3 cuts, that's gonna give us fourths. So for thirds, we only want to cut once and cut twice. Okay? Because now we have it broken into thirds. This piece right here represents 1. That represents 2. And that represents the third piece. There's your thirds right there, okay? Not the cuts. The cuts just tell us, how we're going to break it apart by cutting it twice. But here's where we get the thirds. And like I said, if we cut that one more time, we would have another chunk there, and we would have a fourth, which is not correct. So when we get into breaking these down, let's make sure we cut it the right way. All right? If we want thirds, we're going to cut it twice. If we want fourths, we're going to cut it 3 times. If we want fifths, we're going to cut it 4 times. Okay? Notice how we're going to do that. And we're going to keep breaking those down. And I will continue to work with you guys on that in terms of cuts and what we need to do. All right? So first things first, we're going to take, I have a problem right here. We're going to take a picture here. And this is actually, we're going to break this into fifths. Okay, I'm going to put that right here so we know. I'm going to break this into fifths. Okay, we could have done it anyway. We're going to break this into fifths. We're going to draw on our tape here and then onto our number bond. We're going to break it down, and it's going to look, we're going to really have to understand what's going on here, but we should be all right. So fifths. So that means we want to break this piece into 5 pieces. Okay. So in terms of a number bond, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we know that each piece is going to be 1/5. 1/5 in our number bond, okay? So in order to break that down into the tape, so we need 5 pieces. So we have fifths. So if we need 5 pieces, that's right, we're going to make 4 cuts. We're not going to make 5 cuts. That's going to be too much. We're going to make 4 cuts. So we're going to come here. We're going to make 1 cut, 2 cuts, 3 cuts, and 4 cuts, just like that. Okay, 4 equal cuts. Did the best I could right there on our tape. And we know that each one of this represents 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, and 1/5. Okay, I broke them up into fifths. There they are right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy enough. Okay, I did my cuts correctly. I got it. I broke it down into fifths. Now, let's break that down. All we need to do is we put our number line underneath it, and we just need to follow our cuts right now. Follow our cuts. So here's our first cut. We're going to bring it down here and make our tick mark there. Come here, make our tick mark. Come here, make our tick mark. Come here, make our tick mark. Okay? And you can see we have everything set up. We just followed those tick marks. All right? But now let's label those tick marks. We know that each piece is 1/5. On the number line, let's put the fractions in. So right here for 0, we have 0/5. We don't have anything here. So our first tick mark would be 1/5. Okay. Our second tick mark would be 2/5. Our third tick mark would be 3/5. Our fourth tick mark would be 4/5. And our last one here, which would actually, our tick mark here is on the 1, would be 5/5, or it would be 1. Okay? Notice how it's a little bit different. Up here we looked at fifths. Down here we plugged those fractions in on the tick marks there, from 0/5 all the way to 5/5. Okay? So that's how we draw, how we use our tape to measure stuff out and split up numbers in fifths, and then also put it into the number line. And you can see how it looks a little bit different with the fifths up top with the tape, and then how it goes on the number line. Okay? Pretty simple stuff. This is another one of those things that you need reps. You just need to practice it and understand what is going on. Part 2 is we have to check and see if it works out, if we get it to work out. It says Carter needs to wrap 7 presents. He lays the ribbon out flat. If he makes 6 equal cuts, will he have enough ribbon for each package? All right, so what we're doing in this problem, this word problem, is asking a question. We have to check it and see if it is correct. Will he have enough ribbons for his presents? Okay, so let's start with this. We have a piece of ribbon. Okay, I'm going to lay it flat. Now, he needs ribbon for 7 presents. So he's going to need 7 pieces of, he's going to need 7 pieces of ribbon to put on 7 presents, okay? And he's going to make 6 cuts. So we're going to cut that ribbon 6 times, and we're going to see if that's enough ribbons for 7 presents, all right? So let's try to make 6 equal cuts here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. We made 6 equal cuts. All right? Made 6 equal cuts. Let's see how many ribbons we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Or we would have 1/7. Okay? Carter needed 7 pieces of ribbon for 7 presents. If he cut it 6 ways, is he going to have enough ribbon? Absolutely. He cut it 6 ways. He's going to have 7 pieces of ribbon to wrap his presents. Okay, so that checks out. That is a correct statement. We'd be good to go on that. Okay, so just notice how we took what we had and we worked through it. And we checked our question, all right? So a lot of this has to do with, again, using what you have, understanding how to use the tape technique by putting the tape down and cutting it up. And then the big misconception is understanding, like I said, with thirds, you only want to cut twice. You don't want to cut 3 times. Or same thing with fifths. You don't want to cut 5 times. You only want to cut 4 times. All right, we have to really understand that misconception. And once we have that misconception set, this will be a lot easier. All right, head over to the exit ticket, get that work done, and I will provide feedback as fast as I can.